Congratulations! You already won the lottery of life. Long before you took your first breath, the infinite intelligence had already written abundance into the script of your being. You are not striving for riches. You are remembering your rightful inheritance. Every cell of your body, every thought you think, every action you take is part of a divine plan that leads you toward the perfect expression of prosperity, health, love, and success. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is waiting for your agreement, your alignment, and your word. The invisible world is the real world. What you see with your physical eyes is the picturing of your inner beliefs. You do not manifest by effort, but by recognition. When you realize that you already possess the winning ticket, your consciousness begins to rearrange circumstances to match that truth. You do not beg, you affirm. You do not chase, you allow. You do not struggle, you align with the law of good that has already been established on your behalf. When you speak, you command the unseen substance of life. Every word is a decree. When you say, "I am rich in every way," the invisible supply rushes to fill your experience. When you affirm, "Money comes to me freely and endlessly," channels of unexpected income open. When you declare, "All doors swing open for me with grace," barriers dissolve. Your spoken word is your magic wand. Use it with precision, love, and certainty. The law does not fail. You already live in a universe of limitless supply. Every tree holds countless seeds. Every star in the sky testifies to infinite abundance. If there is no end to stars, no end to air, no end to ideas, there is no end to prosperity. The lottery you wish to win is simply a symbol of the boundless wealth of spirit. Stop seeing it as a rare chance and start seeing it as the natural flow of life. You are the heir of all good things. Your part is to cleanse the inner blueprint. Release every thought of lack, fear, and competition. They are illusions. Replace them with certainty, gratitude, and joy. Say to yourself now, "I am one with the infinite supply. Every need is met before I even ask. I already hold the winning ticket to a life of freedom." This vibration draws to you people, opportunities, and events that mirror your conviction. Nothing can resist the person who knows their power and their source. If you truly want to manifest the lottery, practice the feeling of already having it. See yourself free of financial concern, generous, calm, and joyful. Imagine the security, the relief, the expansive gratitude. Dwell in that mental home until it feels real. The outer world must conform. It is the law. Conditions and channels may shift, but the supply itself is constant and inevitable. Do not be fooled by appearances. When things seem delayed or uncertain, remember, the invisible plan is already at work. What you call delay is simply alignment. Hold steady to your word, to your vision, to your gratitude. Every thought of fear or impatience closes the channel. Every thought of faith and praise opens it wide. Praise what you have, bless what you give, and affirm the truth of your riches. Be alert for intuitive nudges. The infinite speaks through hunches, dreams, ideas, and sudden impulses. One inspired action can open the door to the very experience you seek. When your inner guidance speaks, act quickly and fearlessly. Spirit never fails to provide the next step to those who trust. Above all, know this: you are not manifesting something foreign. You are claiming what is already yours by divine right. This is the great secret. This is the real lottery win. When you accept it with your whole heart, the evidence shows up naturally without strain or struggle. And as you receive, you give. As you bless others, your own blessings multiply. As you radiate abundance, you magnetize more abundance. You have already inherited infinite abundance because before you were born, the entire blueprint of your life was written in the language of unlimited supply, freedom, and spiritual inheritance. This abundance is not something you earn or chase. It is your divine right, woven into the fabric of your being. From the moment you became aware of yourself as a living soul, the current of prosperity began flowing toward you, waiting only for your conscious acceptance. The infinite intelligence has no lack, no limitation, and no withholding spirit. And because you are an expression of that intelligence, you too are limitless in potential and resources. To recognize this truth is to awaken from the illusion of struggle and separation, and to step into the role of heir to the kingdom of plenty. Every tree in nature gives fruit without strain. Every river flows without effort. Every star radiates without depletion, and you are part of this same universal rhythm of giving and receiving. When you realize you have already inherited infinite abundance, you stop living like a beggar at the banquet of life, and begin taking your rightful place as a participant and co-creator in the flow of good. This awareness begins in consciousness, not in the outer world. The evidence of your abundance appears after you have accepted it inwardly as a fact. The external symbols of money, opportunities, and relationships are reflections of the inner conviction that you are already supplied. By affirming your inheritance and aligning your thoughts with it, you unlock channels through which the unseen can take form. When you say to yourself, "I am one with unlimited supply," you shift your vibration, and the universe must correspond. This is not imagination or wishful thinking. It is the working of spiritual law. Just as gravity does not ask permission to operate, the law of abundance does not wait for external circumstances. It moves in response to your acceptance and your word. The more you believe in your divine right to abundance, the more natural it feels, and the more freely it manifests in your life. The infinite abundance you have inherited is not only about money, though money is one of its expressions. It is about opportunities, creativity, health, joy, love, and the freedom to be and do all that you are called to. When you accept your inheritance, you become like a clear channel for inspiration and guidance. Ideas flow easily, and the right people appear at the right time. Doors open that once seemed closed. Circumstances rearrange themselves in ways you could not have planned. This happens because the outer world is malleable to the inner conviction of your wealth. Just as a seed planted in fertile soil yields a harvest in due season, your steady awareness of your divine right yields results in the perfect time and way. You do not need to strive for what is already yours. Striving implies separation, and separation is an illusion. Instead of striving, you claim. You affirm. You act from the certainty that you are already provided for. This is the difference between someone trying to manifest abundance from a sense of lack and someone manifesting abundance from a sense of fullness. The first struggles, doubts and waits. The second acts, trusts and receives. You can train yourself to be in the second state by continually reminding yourself of your inheritance. Speak words of abundance daily. Visualize yourself surrounded by infinite supply. Feel the gratitude and joy as though it were already visible, because in truth, it is already present in the invisible. As you deepen this practice, you begin to notice how conditioned beliefs about scarcity, competition, and limitations start to dissolve. You no longer envy or resent others' success, because you understand that their abundance does not diminish yours. The universe is infinite and ever expanding. There is no shortage of ideas, opportunities, or resources. What you see others experiencing is simply proof of what is also available to you. This shift in perception is powerful because it removes the blocks to your own receiving. The energy of envy or doubt closes doors, while the energy of gratitude and recognition opens them wide. Your inherited abundance also brings with it the power of generosity. As you accept your own supply, you naturally feel inspired to give, share, and bless others. This generosity does not deplete you but multiplies your good. Giving from a place of fullness creates a circulation of energy that draws even more supply back to you. In this way, you participate in the divine flow, becoming both receiver and giver, both blessed and blessing. The more you act from this understanding, the more effortless your life becomes. Bills get paid in unexpected ways, opportunities arise without struggle, and solutions appear before problems fully materialize. This is the grace of living in alignment with your infinite inheritance. To live from your inheritance also means trusting intuitive nudges and inner guidance. The infinite may direct you toward inspired action, new ideas, or bold decisions. When you know that you are already supported, you do not hesitate to follow these signals. You walk with confidence because you understand the source of your supply is not limited to your current job, your current situation, or your current circumstances. Your supply comes from an infinite source that uses countless channels to reach you. This trust allows you to move through life with freedom, courage, and joy, unafraid of change because you know your abundance cannot be taken from you. Every time you affirm your inheritance, you are rewriting your inner script and building a new mental home. You are teaching your subconscious mind to expect good, to expect supply, to expect miracles. This expectancy is a magnet that draws to you experiences that match its tone. If you maintain this expectancy long enough, it becomes a deep inner knowing. And from that knowing, your reality reshapes itself naturally. This is the essence of manifestation, the out-picturing of your inner conviction. When you remember that you have already inherited infinite abundance, you become calm, patient, and powerful because you no longer see life as a struggle, but as an unfolding of good that is already yours by right. This recognition also transforms your relationship with time. Instead of feeling pressured to achieve or anxious about deadlines, you realize everything arrives in divine timing. You stop rushing. You stop comparing your journey to others. You understand that your inheritance is timeless and inexhaustible, and therefore you can relax into the process, confident that everything you need is on its way, or already here in unseen form. This calm trust opens even greater channels for supply to reach you, because the energy of ease is magnetic to abundance. You may also find that as you embody this truth, you begin to attract not only material wealth, but also a deeper sense of fulfillment, purpose, and connection. Infinite abundance encompasses spiritual gifts, emotional healing, and harmonious relationships. By accepting your inheritance, you allow every area of your life to blossom. People respond differently to you because your energy has shifted. Opportunities you once overlooked become obvious. Synchronicities multiply. Life takes on a sense of magic and flow that once felt like rare coincidence but now feels like a natural state of being. Your mind becomes clearer. Your creativity expands. You have more energy because you are no longer weighed down by fear or lack. This liberated state makes you a magnet for new ideas and fresh ways of experiencing life. It also allows you to be more present, savoring each moment as a gift rather than rushing towards some distant prize. In truth, the prize has already been won. You are simply learning to unwrap it and enjoy it. When you claim your inheritance daily, it becomes a living practice, not a one-time affirmation. You keep yourself attuned to the frequency of abundance by gratitude, visualization, inspired action, and steadfast faith. Over time, this alignment becomes second nature. You no longer oscillate between believing and doubting, you simply know. And from that knowing, your life reflects the infinite abundance you have always held within you. Your words and beliefs shape your reality, because every statement you make and every conviction you hold becomes a seed planted in the invisible garden of your life. The universe is a vast, responsive field of energy that mirrors back to you what you broadcast through your thoughts, feelings, and spoken words. When you speak with certainty, you set spiritual law into motion, and when you believe with conviction, you form the blueprint from which your experience is built. This is not merely poetic. It is a metaphysical principle as dependable as gravity. If your words affirm lack, fear, or struggle, you unknowingly command more of the same. If your words affirm abundance, peace, and success, you open the channels for these qualities to manifest. Every phrase you repeat and every belief you harbor is like a mold into which the substance of life is poured, taking form according to your instructions. To understand this deeply, imagine your subconscious mind as fertile soil. It does not judge the seeds you plant, it simply grows whatever you sow. When you repeatedly speak words of doubt, lack, or frustration, you plant weeds that crowd out your good. When you speak words of confidence, wealth, and love, you plant vibrant flowers that bloom in your reality. This is why conscious speech is so powerful. You are never just talking, you are always creating. Your words are living vibrations that attract conditions, people, and experiences in harmony with their tone. When you declare, "I am abundant," you are not merely describing yourself, you are giving a directive to the creative power of the universe to express abundance through you. This is the difference between idle chatter and intentional decree. Beliefs act as the invisible framework for your life. They are the deep roots that determine how your outer world develops. Many people try to change their circumstances while keeping the same limiting beliefs, which is why change seems difficult or temporary. But when you shift the belief itself, the outer condition must change, because it has no choice but to follow its pattern. This is why aligning your beliefs with the truth of your worthiness, your abundance, and your divine connection is the most important work you can do. By choosing new beliefs and reinforcing them through affirmations, visualization, and repeated statements, you gradually reshape the internal structures of your mind. In time, this becomes your new normal, and your life reflects it. When you begin to consciously speak prosperity into existence, you activate the power of faith and expectation. Faith is the mental state of already having what you desire. Expectation is the magnetic pull that draws it toward you. Combined with spoken words, these forces become unstoppable. The law does not distinguish between real and imagined. In the way we do, it responds to the vibrational signature of your words and beliefs. By practicing positive speech, you create a vibrational template that reality must fulfill. This is why every spiritual teacher throughout history has emphasized the power of the tongue, the importance of the word, and the creative nature of thought. Consider how often you casually speak of things you do not want. You might say, "I can't afford that," "Things never work out for me," or "I'm always unlucky." These statements, though casual, are powerful instructions to the universe. They reinforce a story of limitation and ensure its continuation. The first step in changing this is awareness. Listen to your own speech. Notice the beliefs hidden inside your words. Then, begin replacing them deliberately. Instead of, "I can't afford that," you might say, "Money is flowing to me in perfect ways." Instead of, "Things never work out for me," you can declare, "Everything is unfolding for my highest good." This may feel awkward at first, but as you persist, you are training your consciousness to expect a new reality. As your words change, your beliefs will follow. As your beliefs change, your words will gain power. This reciprocal loop accelerates your manifestation. Over time, what once felt like a bold affirmation becomes a calm statement of fact. You are not trying to convince yourself anymore. You simply know it to be true. In that knowing, you release resistance, and the flow of good increases. This is how you speak prosperity into existence. Not as a momentary ritual, but as a lifestyle of conscious creation. Your inner dialogue is just as important as your spoken words. Thoughts you repeat silently have vibrational power. If your outer speech says, "I am abundant," but your inner monologue says, "This is a lie," you create mixed signals. The universe responds most strongly to the dominant vibration, which is often the silent one. This is why meditation, visualization, and affirmation work best together. By saturating your consciousness with new beliefs and words, you bring your inner and outer speech into alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and words are consistent, manifestation accelerates dramatically. It is also important to speak about others with the same consciousness you want for yourself. Words of criticism, jealousy, or negativity directed at others boomerang back to you, because you are dwelling in that frequency. When you bless others, praise their success, and speak abundance over their lives, you multiply that energy in your own experience. This is not about being falsely positive. It is about understanding the law of vibration and using it wisely. The more you speak life, the more life flows back to you. Beliefs and words also affect your body and emotions. Speaking words of vitality, youth, and wellness can transform your physical state over time, because cells respond to the vibrational environment you create. When you affirm health, your subconscious mind sends instructions to your body to align with that state. When you affirm peace, your nervous system calms, and your actions become more deliberate and confident. This holistic influence shows that prosperity is not limited to money, but extends to every area of your life. Another key to harnessing the power of words and beliefs is consistency. Sporadic affirmations cannot outweigh a lifetime of negative self-talk. You must saturate your consciousness daily with statements of truth, wealth, and worthiness. This consistency is like watering a seed. Each repetition strengthens the roots until the plant breaks through the soil. At first, you may see no visible change, but beneath the surface, your beliefs are taking root and growing. When the time is right, your new reality will sprout into visibility. You can also amplify the power of your words by feeling them as true when you speak them. Emotion is the energy that impresses the subconscious mind. If you say, "I am abundant," With no feeling, it is like planting a seed without watering it. If you say it with gratitude, excitement, and certainty, it is like planting a seed in rich soil and giving it sunshine and water. Feel the reality of your words as though they are already fulfilled. This makes your beliefs and words work together in harmony. The power of your words and beliefs is not limited by past mistakes or current appearances. No matter how entrenched a negative pattern seems, it can be dissolved and replaced with a new one. Life is infinitely flexible, and every moment is a new point of creation. When you choose new words and beliefs today, you set in motion a new future. This is why the present moment is always your point of power. You are never stuck. You are simply in the process of transitioning from one set of beliefs to another. Speaking prosperity into existence also requires patience and trust. Seeds do not sprout overnight, but they do sprout inevitably if cared for. As you continue to affirm, visualize and believe, your subconscious mind reorients itself, and the universe rearranges circumstances. Opportunities appear, synchronicities multiply, and unexpected channels of supply open. This is not magic in the superficial sense, but the natural outworking of spiritual law responding to your new instructions. By living in the awareness that your words and beliefs shape your reality, you become the conscious author of your life. You stop reacting to circumstances and start creating them. You no longer speak of hoping things will change. You speak with authority. Knowing your words set causes in motion. You no longer hold beliefs of powerlessness. You hold beliefs of mastery and connection. In doing so, you step into your role as co-creator with the infinite, shaping your life with the same creative power that formed the stars and oceans. Visualize and feel your desired outcome as already achieved, because the mind does not differentiate between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. And when you impress your subconscious with a clear picture and a powerful emotion, you create a magnetic blueprint that draws circumstances, opportunities, and resources into alignment with your vision. Imagination is the workshop of creation, the inner theater where you rehearse and generate the conditions you want to live in. When you consistently form a mental image of your desired reality and inhabit the feeling of its fulfillment, you are practicing the art of living from the end, which is one of the most potent ways to manifest. The unseen realm of thought is the mold, and the seen realm of matter is the poured substance. When the mold is set clearly and held steadily, the substance must take its shape. This is why visualization is not daydreaming but deliberate creation, and why feeling the end state is the key that activates the process. Begin by choosing a quiet space and closing your eyes. Relax your body, quiet your breathing, and let your mind soften. Picture your desired outcome in as much detail as possible, the sights, sounds, scents, textures, and movements associated with it. Do not watch yourself from a distance like a movie. Instead, enter the scene and experience it from within. If your desire is financial freedom, imagine looking at your bank account and seeing the numbers, feeling the freedom of choices available, sensing the security and relief in your body. If your desire is a new home, picture the walls, the windows, the rooms, the way sunlight streams through the space, the sound of your footsteps on the floor. Make it vivid, specific, and emotionally rich. The clearer the picture and the stronger the emotion, the deeper the impression on your subconscious mind. The feeling is what turns the mental image into a living force. Feeling is the vibrational signature that the universe recognizes and responds to. You may create an image without feeling and see little change, but when you marry the image with the emotional tone of gratitude, joy, and satisfaction, you set in motion the law of attraction at its highest level. This is because the subconscious communicates through symbols and emotions, not logic or words. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you bypass resistance and imprint the end state as a present reality. Over time, your nervous system, your beliefs, and your outer actions reorganize to match this inner reality, and life mirrors it back to you. Practice this daily. Consistency is more important than duration. Even a few minutes of focused visualization with strong emotion each day can outweigh hours of scattered wishing. As you return to the image again and again, you are building a new mental home, and your subconscious begins to accept it as true. When that acceptance occurs, Opportunities and ideas start appearing seemingly out of nowhere. But they are actually the outer reflection of your new inner state. You will find yourself taking inspired actions that you did not plan but that perfectly lead you to your outcome. This is the natural unfolding of manifestation. To strengthen this practice, use all your senses. Hear the voices, the ambient sounds, the music that would surround your desired outcome. Smell the fragrances in the environment. Touch the surfaces. Feel the temperature of the air. Engage taste if it is relevant. The more sensory detail you add, the more real the scene becomes to your mind, and the more powerfully it imprints. This is also why combining visualization with affirmations can be powerful. As you see the image, speak words that affirm it as present reality. This dual input of sight and sound deepens the subconscious impression. An essential part of this process is releasing the how and focusing on the end. Your job is not to figure out the path, but to hold the state of the fulfilled desire. When you live in the end, the means will arrange themselves. You will be guided step by step. This may require trust and patience, but it is the most direct route. Many people sabotage their visualization by constantly questioning how it will happen, or worrying about timing. This sends mixed signals to the subconscious and delays the process. Instead, treat your desired outcome as already done, and let the universe handle the unfolding. Another way to enhance the emotional power of visualization is to practice gratitude in advance. Feel grateful for your desired outcome, as though it is already in your hands. Gratitude raises your vibration and signals to the universe that you are a match to receiving. It also dissolves feelings of lack or desperation, which block manifestation. By cultivating gratitude, you create a sense of ease and receptivity. This emotional state allows the energy of your desire to flow unobstructed into your experience. If doubts arise during visualization, acknowledge them and then return to the feeling of fulfillment. Doubts are simply old beliefs surfacing. They lose power when you do not feed them. Over time, as you persist with the practice, the doubts diminish because your subconscious becomes more impressed with the new image than with the old limitations. This is why persistence and repetition are essential. You are not just imagining, you are rewiring your consciousness. Visualization and feeling can also be extended into waking life through living as if. Take small actions in the present that reflect your desired outcome. Dress, speak, or organize your environment in ways that align with the reality you are creating. This anchors your inner vision into physical form and strengthens the neural pathways associated with it. Even small symbolic acts can have powerful effects because they signal to your subconscious that the new reality is underway. As you visualize and feel your desired outcome as already achieved, notice how your self-image changes. You begin to identify as the person who already has, does, or is what you desire. This shift in identity is the true manifestation. Once you see yourself differently, you naturally think, speak, and act differently, and these changes draw corresponding results. It becomes effortless because you are no longer trying to become something. You are simply expressing what you already are in consciousness. Your dreams at night may also begin to reflect your new images, showing you signs and symbols of your desires. This is a positive indicator that your subconscious is integrating the new blueprint. Pay attention to intuitive nudges, coincidences, and serendipitous meetings. These are the universe's way of rearranging your outer world to match your inner vision. Respond to them with openness and confidence. Trust that the process is unfolding perfectly. You can also enhance your practice by writing down your visualizations as though they are happening now. Describe in detail what you see, feel, and experience. This engages another level of your mind and reinforces the image. Read these descriptions regularly, especially before sleep and upon waking, when your subconscious is most receptive. Over time, this repetition saturates your consciousness and makes the new reality feel natural. Another powerful technique is to anchor the feeling of fulfillment in your body through a gesture, a breath pattern, or a phrase. Each time you perform the gesture or say the phrase, recall the full visualization and feeling. This creates a shortcut to the desired state, allowing you to enter it quickly throughout the day. The more time you spend in the state of the wish fulfilled, the faster it becomes your dominant vibration. and the sooner it manifests outwardly. Remember that visualization is not about escaping reality, but about reshaping it. You are not pretending or fantasizing. You are consciously designing. The invisible precedes the visible. Every invention, every achievement, every transformation begins first as an inner picture. You are simply applying this universal principle to your own life deliberately. By doing so, you align yourself with the creative power that animates everything in the universe. Finally, cultivate a sense of inevitability. Instead of hoping your desire will manifest, know that it must. Feel that it is already done. Carry that calm confidence with you throughout the day. This unwavering inner state is the signal that instructs the universe to deliver. As you hold this state and act from it, your outer world reshapes itself in ways that seem miraculous, but are simply the natural consequence of aligning imagination, feeling, and belief. Release fear, lack, and competition, and align with gratitude and certainty, because the energy you hold within becomes the atmosphere through which life responds to you, and whatever you give your focus to expands. Fear and lack are illusions that arise from the belief that you are separate from the infinite source, while gratitude and certainty arise from the recognition that you are one with it. When you release fear, you stop bracing against life, you stop expecting disaster, and you stop rehearsing limitations in your mind. When you release the idea of lack, you cease to believe that supply is scarce, or that your good can be taken away. When you let go of competition, you recognize that no one can steal what is meant for you, because the universe is boundless and constantly replenishing itself. This mental shift transforms your vibration, and because the world is always mirroring your inner state, it transforms your experiences as well. Fear contracts your energy field. It makes you shrink, hide, hesitate, and sabotage opportunities. Gratitude expands your energy field. It makes you open, receptive, confident, and magnetic. Certainty stabilizes your vibration. It makes you steady and calm in the face of appearances. And it allows your desires to manifest more quickly, because you are not sending mixed signals. This is why releasing fear and lack is not just a moral suggestion, but a practical step in manifestation. When you remove the static of fear, you allow the clear signal of abundance to broadcast unimpeded. When you fill your mind with gratitude, you harmonize with the frequency of receiving. When you choose certainty, you anchor your energy in the end state, and let the universe arrange the details. Begin by observing your thoughts and noticing where fear, lack, or competition arise. Perhaps you fear not having enough money, fear losing someone's approval, or fear missing an opportunity. Perhaps you believe there is only so much to go around, or that someone else's gain is your loss. These beliefs are deeply conditioned but not true. The universe is infinite, and the more you align with its flow, the more evidence of abundance you will see. Replacing these beliefs is like cleaning a window. You remove the dirt of illusion and let the light of truth shine through. This is why daily practice of affirmations and gratitude is so powerful. You cannot simultaneously dwell in fear and gratitude. You cannot hold lack and certainty at the same time. You choose, moment by moment, which frequency you inhabit. As you practice releasing fear, you begin to see that fear itself has no substance. It is a projection of the mind, a story about a future that has not occurred. Gratitude, on the other hand, is rooted in the present moment, in the recognition of the good that already exists. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you stay in the only place where creation happens, the now. This dissolves anxiety about the future and regret about the past, freeing your energy to flow into manifestation. Gratitude also acts as a magnet, drawing more reasons to be grateful. The more you notice and appreciate, the more life gives you to appreciate. This upward spiral replaces the downward spiral of fear and lack. Certainty is the final step that seals your manifestation. Certainty is not arrogance, it is faith. It is the quiet, steady knowing that what you desire is already on its way, or already present in unseen form. It is standing in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even when outer appearances seem to contradict it. Certainty does not waver with delays or setbacks. It holds the vibration of the end result, which allows the unseen to crystallize into the seen. When you hold certainty, you become a stable point around which circumstances can organize. This is why those who just know something will happen, so often see it come to pass. Letting go of competition is also vital, because competition is rooted in the belief in separation and scarcity. It says there is only so much to go around, so you must fight for your share. But the moment you accept your oneness with the infinite, you realize you do not compete for supply, you channel it. You do not fight for opportunities, you attract them. You do not compare your journey to others, because you know your path is uniquely designed, and your good cannot be diverted. This attitude of non-competition frees you from resentment, jealousy, and pressure. It allows you to celebrate others' success as evidence of what is also available to you, which raises your vibration even higher. You can practice releasing fear and lack by shifting your focus each time an anxious thought appears. When you catch yourself thinking, "What if it doesn't work out?" Immediately everything is working out for my highest good. When you think, "I can't afford that," shift to, "Money flows to me freely and endlessly." When you think, "They got what I wanted," affirm me, "Perfect opportunities come to me easily and cannot be missed." This retrains your subconscious to fall to abundance and certainty rather than fear and ado. Over time, these new patterns become automatic, and your reality reflects them. Another powerful practice is to use your body to reinforce the state of gratitude and certainty. When you feel fearful, breathe deeply, straighten your posture, and place your hand over your heart. Speak your affirmations aloud with conviction. Gratitude and certainty have a physical signature. Open chest, steady breath, lifted gaze, while fear and lack cause a closed posture and shallow breathing. By embodying the energy you want, you teach your nervous system to stabilize in it. This embodiment sends a powerful message to your subconscious and accelerates the shift. Surround yourself with reminders of abundance and gratitude. Create a gratitude journal and write daily about what you appreciate. Keep affirmations visible on your walls or phone. Limit your exposure to media or conversations that feed fear and lack. Spend time in nature, which constantly displays abundance, balance, and renewal. Nature shows you there is no rush, no shortage, and no competition. Every leaf, every breeze, every tide is a testimony to infinite supply. Absorb that lesson and let it reshape your beliefs. As you deepen your alignment with gratitude and certainty, you may notice your desires manifesting with greater ease. This is because you are no longer resisting them with fear or blocking them with doubt. Your inner state becomes a clear vessel for the energy of abundance to flow through. You begin to feel a sense of sufficiency, even before anything changes outwardly. This feeling of sufficiency is the key. When you feel full, life gives you more. When you feel lacking, life mirrors that lack. By cultivating fullness within, you set up an endless feedback loop of abundance. Releasing fear and lack also transforms your relationships. You stop clinging, comparing, or competing with others. You begin to see everyone as a partner in the dance of life rather than a rival. This openness invites deeper connections, mutual support, and opportunities you might otherwise miss. People feel your calm confidence and are drawn to it. This makes collaboration and success easier because you are operating from a win-win vibration instead of a zero-sum mindset. Certainty also makes you bold. When you know your supply is infinite and your path is guided, you take inspired risks without hesitation. You act on intuitive nudges, speak your truth, and pursue your desires without apology. This boldness is not reckless but grounded in faith. It allows you to seize opportunities quickly and to stand firm in your vision, even when others doubt or question you. This self-assurance is magnetic and often leads to leadership, influence, and expanded impact. You can also amplify gratitude by expressing it out loud to others. Thank people sincerely. Appreciate their contributions, praise freely. This generosity of spirit not only uplifts them but also increases your own vibration. It trains your mind to look for what is right, what is working, and what is abundant. This habit creates a lens through which you experience more and more good, because perception shapes experience and experience reinforces belief. As you practice living this way, you create a new normal where fear and lack no longer feel familiar and gratitude and certainty become your default. Your nervous system relaxes, your creativity blossoms, your intuition sharpens, and your actions become more inspired. This is not a forced state, but a natural outgrowth of the inner work you have done. It is the flowering of a consciousness rooted in abundance and aligned with universal law. This alignment does not mean you will never face challenges, but that your response to them will be completely different. Instead of panicking or feeling victimized, you will meet challenges with calm resourcefulness and the assurance that solutions already exist. You will recognize obstacles as temporary and often as stepping stones to greater good. This resilience makes manifestation more consistent because you are no longer derailed by appearances or delays. You hold your vibration steady, and the outer world adjusts to it. Releasing fear, lack, and competition and aligning with gratitude and certainty ultimately shifts your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone striving for abundance, but as someone who is abundance expressing itself. This identity shift is the foundation of true manifestation. Once you embody it, your thoughts, words, and actions naturally reflect it, and your life becomes a testimony to the principle that the inner state creates the outer state. Follow intuitive guidance and allow inspired action to open the way for manifestation, because intuition is the language of the infinite speaking directly to your heart and mind, guiding you step by step toward the realization of your desires. It is the quiet inner nudge, the sudden idea. The knowing that seems to come from nowhere yet carries with it a sense of clarity and certainty. This guidance is not random. It is a precise navigation system attuned to the frequency of your desires. When you align yourself with your inner wisdom, you stop forcing outcomes and begin flowing with a higher order of timing and orchestration. Inspired action is the natural consequence of this guidance, arising not from pressure or struggle but from a surge of clarity, enthusiasm, and confidence. Acting on these impulses is the bridge between the invisible realm of imagination and the visible realm of manifestation. To cultivate intuitive guidance, begin by creating moments of stillness in your daily life. Silence and reflection make it easier to hear the subtle signals of the inner voice. The world is loud with opinions, demands, and distractions, but your intuitive voice is quiet, persistent, and gentle. When you give yourself time to meditate, journal, or simply sit in calm awareness, you strengthen your ability to discern between the chatter of fear and the whisper of intuition. This distinction is crucial because fear often masquerades as practicality, but its energy feels constrictive, urgent, and draining, while true intuition feels expansive, calm, and energizing. The more you practice listening, the clearer this distinction becomes. Once you recognize intuitive nudges, the next step is trust. Trusting your intuition means acting on guidance even before you see the full picture. It means stepping into the unknown with the confidence that the next step will appear as needed. This is similar to walking down a staircase where only the first few steps are lit. You take them, and the next ones illuminate. Acting on intuition strengthens it. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the signal, making future guidance clearer and more frequent. Conversely, when you ignore or dismiss intuitive impulses, the signal weakens, and you may feel disconnected or confused. The relationship with your intuition is like any other relationship. It deepens with attention, respect, and responsiveness. Inspired action feels different from forced action. It carries a sense of timing and flow. You may suddenly feel compelled to call someone, go to a particular place, start a new project, or release an old one. You may wake up with a fresh idea or see a clear opportunity that previously seemed hidden. Acting on these inspirations can open doors that logic alone could not predict. This is because your intuition has access to a larger field of information than your conscious mind, perceiving connections, possibilities, and pathways far beyond your current awareness. By trusting and acting, you align yourself with these hidden currents of support. To prepare yourself for inspired action, release rigid expectations about how your manifestation must occur. The infinite can deliver your desire through countless channels, many of which you cannot foresee. When you fixate on one method or path, you may miss the very opportunity that leads you to your goal. Keep your vision of the desired outcome clear, but remain flexible about the route. This flexibility allows intuition to guide you in unexpected and efficient ways. Often the path your intuition leads you down is shorter, more joyful, and more harmonious than the path your conscious mind would choose. Pay attention to synchronicities, coincidences, and repeating signs. These are the breadcrumbs of guidance scattered along your path. A book might fall open to the exact message you need. A stranger might mention a resource that solves your problem, or an opportunity might appear just as you were thinking about it. These signals are not accidents. They are reflections of your alignment and indicators of your next steps. When you notice them and respond, you increase the flow of guidance. Gratitude for these signs amplifies their occurrence, creating a feedback loop of clarity and direction. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen your intuitive connection is to combine it with visualization and feeling. When you hold your desired outcome vividly in your mind and feel it as already achieved, you attune your inner compass to its frequency. This makes intuitive nudges more obvious, because your subconscious mind is actively scanning for anything related to your goal. You become like a magnet pulling relevant people, resources, and ideas into your orbit. Acting on these opportunities then accelerates manifestation, because you are consistently bridging thought and action. Do not be afraid to take small steps. Inspired action often begins as something simple and manageable. A single phone call, an email, a conversation, a small purchase, or a subtle shift in your routine can set in motion a chain of events leading to major outcomes. Many people hesitate, thinking they must have the entire plan mapped out before acting. But manifestation rarely works that way. It unfolds in increments, each step revealing the next. Trusting and acting on even the smallest nudge builds momentum and confidence. Recognize also that inspired action feels natural, even when it stretches you. It may challenge your comfort zone, but it will not feel like self-betrayal or drudgery. It will have an undercurrent of rightness, like fitting a key into a lock. This is how you distinguish inspired action from compulsive action driven by fear. Inspired action expands your energy, fear-based action depletes it. By tuning into how you feel, you can discern the difference and choose accordingly. As you build a habit of following intuitive guidance, you develop a sense of partnership with the infinite. You stop feeling alone in your efforts and begin to experience life as a co-creation. This partnership brings a sense of safety and trust. You know that even if you cannot see the whole path, you are guided and supported. This sense of guidance reduces anxiety, increases confidence, and creates a flow state in which manifestation becomes more rapid and joyful. Sometimes intuitive guidance will tell you to pause or wait rather than act. This too is part of the process. Timing is a crucial element of manifestation. Acting too early can be as ineffective as acting too late. Trusting your intuition includes trusting its signals to rest, prepare, or hold steady. This patience creates a gestation period for your desire, allowing all the elements to align perfectly before you move. In this way, you avoid unnecessary effort and frustration, conserving your energy for the right moment. Your intuition may also guide you to release something, an old belief, a toxic relationship, a limiting habit, to make space for what you want to manifest. Inspired action is not always about adding, sometimes it is about clearing. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you open space for new good to enter. This clearing action is often the most direct path to your manifestation, because it removes blocks and resistance. Keep a record of your intuitive hits and the actions you take. This journal can become a powerful tool for building trust in your inner guidance. As you look back, you will see patterns of accuracy, support, and unfolding. This reinforces your confidence and helps you act even more swiftly in the future. Over time, this practice creates a feedback loop of success, where intuitive guidance and inspired action become your default mode of operating. Finally, blend intuitive guidance with gratitude. Thank your inner wisdom for its support. Thank the universe for its orchestration. Thank the people and circumstances that show up as part of the path. Gratitude opens your heart and raises your vibration, which amplifies your intuitive sensitivity. It also creates a sense of joy and partnership in the process, making manifestation not just a goal, but an ongoing adventure of discovery. By following intuitive guidance and taking inspired action, you align yourself with the rhythm of creation itself. You stop trying to force the river and instead flow with it, letting it carry you to destinations you may never have imagined, but which perfectly match your true desires. This way of living turns manifestation from a struggle into a dance, from a test of will into an expression of harmony. You become a living demonstration of the principle that when thought, feeling, and action unite under the guidance of intuition, the unseen becomes seen and the desired becomes reality.